I went limp here.
You went limp right away. I had us on mute, so I didn't hear us. I was going to say something witty and interesting to start out the show, and then I totally forgot because I'm a fucking idiot.
I don't go limp.
Have it on. Anyways, we're here.
We are. It's it's fall.
It's fall. It all of a sudden got really cold.
Got a hoodie on.
You do got a hoodie on. That is the hoodie, too. I think in all fall episodes, you're wearing that exact same hoodie.
I love this hoodie because it's got like this furry stuff on the inside. Makes me feel really toasty.
Furry stuff. Huh?
I own like 10 hoodies, but no, this one's the liner on this
one.
I
would never know because I only see that one.
No, you've seen the red polo, too, many times.
Well, then how do you get 10 and you only wear 2?
Well, I wear other ones when it's colder. This one is not for when it's really cold. This one's kind of thin.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's like really butt-ass cold, I wear one of the other ones.
Why does it feel like a Saturday?
Because we've been recording on Saturdays for years.
And the Bengals are playing tomorrow and a couple other reasons.
Bengals are playing tomorrow.
And I'm off tomorrow, but not really. So, yeah, it does really feel like a Saturday to me for some reason. Anyways, what's up, guys? It is episode 144. We're at the big 144. We got big plans for 150?
Yeah.
We're going to have to come up with some, right?
And yeah, the just 150 to 200, just because.
And we got someone this week. You want to do an introduction?
We do. We have, you know him from ESPN. Scott Van Pelt is in the studio with us. And we've been talking about Scott for a long time because we've been wanting to do this trivia contest and punish each other, you know, like the cock that's already on my leg. So Matt Hudson comes up with, without a doubt, the worst fucking questions on
I thought the questions were fine. I had no issues with them.
He might as well have fucking quizzed us on the fucking Bible. Okay? It would have been the same fucking result.
He should have.
Actually, I probably would have won that one. You don't even know who God is.
No, I actually, as an atheist, I would have won that one because I've actually read the Bible.
I have too.
I don't believe you.
I was an altar boy.
Hey, I don't believe you read the Bible. Most people that go to church don't read the Bible. You might read a
That's what you do in catechism, dude.
Maybe a
CCD.
passage or two, but you're not
reading the whole book.
Really?
In catechism? That's what it is. It's Bible study.
Yeah, but not really.
You sit there and learn the fucking Bible.
I still don't think you quote it like a little, Baptist boy who seems like that's what they have to do is every argument that they try to make has to come with the Bible verse.
No.
Really?
I never, as a grown person.
That's not a good argument. I'm just saying that's the argument that they make.
Yeah, I've never, as a grown person, sat down and read it. I went to catechism for 3 years, and you take tests. It's just like school.
Yeah.
But no, I've never actually sat there and tried to learn the deep meaning of it.
I fucking hate your phone. How come you can't turn that off?
It's the volume's all the way down.
No, that's not, because you would not be able to hear it if the volumes are already down.
We're starting with hatred here. Now, folks,
we start every episode with hatred because your goddamn phone goes off nonstop.
Folks, I overslept today, and I'm an hour late, so I'm on the shit list with both of these guys.
And also, who wants to talk to you that much where that's blowing up like that?
Hey, you don't think I got a Brazilian for nothing, pal?
Yeah, we know why you got a Brazilian.
My dance card is full.
Really? All of a sudden, now that your butthole's waxed, you got a lot of people coming by wanting to visit?
Same four,
but they've all updated recently? Because you say 4, but usually it's just 1 or maybe 2.
Oh, only one that eats butthole, yeah.
Well, no, I know that, but just in general,
In general, there's 3 and the cuck.
Okay, and the cuck's been calling?
The cuck, his wife, has been texting. Yeah, they want to
arrange a meetup?
Have a little soiree. But
did you tell them that your butthole was waxed?
Yes, indeed, I did.
And?
She said she's never seen one. We've never seen a Brazilian.
She said she's about to?
Well, no, she's seen it bald a million times from the Veet.
Yeah.
Everybody say how many times has she actually had your ass in her face, though?
Probably
not that often.
She's had my nuts on the bridge of her nose more than a dozen times. I can tell you that.
The old 69.
Yeah, that's been a thing. Yeah.
That's going to be how it works, though, because you're going to say, "There's the nuts on my face." Oh, by the way, take a look at my asshole.
Yeah,
nice.
Well, I mean, I don't think she doesn't eat butt, and I don't think she would.
But you still got a view of it. If you're in a 69, I mean, what else could you look at?
There's nothing else to look at.
You're looking at butthole. That's
it. But the thing about it is, it's been a month now, I think, since we've been to Vegas. And,
so it's sprinkly.
It's popping back in.
Yeah.
It's starting to pop in like it kind of looks like a mad peach.
Looks like
there's a fuzz coming up.
Looks
everywhere.
like an Asian growing a beard.
Yeah. But I'm doing it again. I found a local Brazilianite who's going to do it again because I am addicted to this.
Addicted.
I love it. I just love the way it feels.
So you would compare getting the Brazilian to like crack? One
Never done crack.
One hit and you're addicted kind of thing?
No,
That's
but
what I've always heard.
When I Veet it, it's smooth. But a Brazilian's different. It's baby smooth. So sometimes I'll be sitting there watching TV and I'll be like, just want to play with some stuff, and I'll go down for the nuts. And
yeah, you told us that, and that's weird to me.
But not in a sexual way. They just feel good.
Whatever.
But here, the problem, what I've been told, and I'll do it one more time, But if the hair starts to grow back after another month, then I might bail on it because I don't want to keep paying that money every month. But they said, the more you do it, the less the hair will come back. And so that's what I'm going for.
We're always like, man, we need to get some guests. And then we get some guests on and we still just talk about your butthole. It doesn't matter what goes on. The conversation is going right back to your butthole. And
it's like the Kevin Bacon game. Anything can turn back into
and that's the funny thing about it is, yes, it started with you not being able to turn your ringer off. And now all of a sudden we're talking about your butthole.
Right back to the butthole.
Yeah, it's just like he finds a way right back to the butthole every single time.
Kevin Bacon, man.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, then let's talk football.
All right, you talk.
That's Bengals tomorrow. Who are you taking?
We talked about this before you came, actually.
Yeah, we had this discussion before. I'm nervous, but I do think the Bengals pull it out. I believe that they need to get out to an early lead. I think that's going to be the important part. Just because I think that helps get the defensive line moving.
Without DJ Reader.
To get it to it without DJ Reader, which is nerve-wracking.
Huge.
But they don't run the ball like other teams where I'm more concerned about DJ Reader.
No, I think this is a good matchup for Cincinnati. Are the Dolphins better than the Bengals? I don't know. I mean, and a lot of times that's not what an actual game comes down to. It comes up to how you match up together. And I believe this is a good matchup. The Dolphins really aren't running the ball that great. They're passing more relies on the receivers than anything else than it does Tua. And Tua might be hurt anyways. But either way, they don't really have a pass rush. So Burrow should have, in theory, Burrow should have a little bit more time than usual. And Chase isn't going to have 2 35-yard games in a row. I think the Bengals score a lot of points against Miami. I don't think Miami has the best defensive backs. I mean, Buffalo just put up 300 passing yards against them. Lamar put up 300 yards passing against them. The problem is the teams that Miami have been playing, they've been playing against some shitty cornerbacks.
They have.
And that's the reason why they've put up so many yards and everything.
Yeah, well, Tua's never going to have 5 touchdowns and almost 500 yards again in his career.
Well, he played 2 weeks in a row against all backups.
Yeah. Well,
Baltimore had 2 fourth-rounders playing, 2 fourth-round rookies. Buffalo, almost their whole defensive backfield was out on injury. So, Tua's put up some numbers recently, but those
and the biggest
thing a little foggy.
The biggest thing I talked about earlier too is I think he throws a shit ball.
I do too. I always have.
Awful looking ball, and I think when you're playing against bad secondaries, you can get away with that. Bengals have a pretty decent secondary. You have Hilton, you've got Cheney. Those guys are ball hawks.
Bates
and Bates.
Yeah, I believe so too. And Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson's a hell of a linebacker in coverage. He has more interceptions than any other linebacker over the last 2 years.
Yeah, that interception last week was fantastic. Coming out of Tampa too. You watch him run back 15, 20 yards and then jump and grab it. He did fumble it.
He looked like a running back and then he fumbled it.
The thing about it is I think Tua has a shit ball too. I've said that from the beginning. It just kind of looks like a lazy thing. They said that in his Baltimore win that he, for some reason, his timing of the release on the ball was faster than anybody else in the league. I'm like, I don't know how that happened because he kind of just lasers it out there.
Well, the release, I don't think that's not what they're talking about. They're probably talking about how long it was from the time it snapped to the time the ball was in the air.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's just like getting the ball and going like this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He gets rid of it. He's always been the kind of quarterback that holds onto the ball too long. And then he's never been the guy that went real deep because he doesn't have the arm for it.
Well, it helps when you have Tyreek Hill, too.
And
holy crap.
How about Waddle? Waddle's a machine right now. He's playing great.
Waddle's banged up right now, so that could help us. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's he's the man. I mean, no one's going to say he's not.
Well, they said on ESPN last week.
He's coming out motivated, too. Apparently, he's pissed off at Eli Apple from that incident last year.
Yeah, they've got some drama.
Yeah, last year. They're going back and forth. So that should be fun.
Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, remember Eli Apple stopped him in that AFC playoff game from scoring inside the 5, and that's pretty much that was the game. If he would have scored that, we wouldn't have went to the Super Bowl. Kansas City would have. And I think Eli talked some shit, of course. Why wouldn't you? And and it's going back and forth. And now they got a little rivalry going. Now that's the wrong end of the rivalry for Eli
we
Apple.
got the bad end of that.
I can promise you, there is no going to be Tyreek Hill, Eli Apple head to head on that one. Yeah.
No, that's going to be mostly Cheney. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tyreek, he moves a lot though. So I mean, I could see they use him and. McDaniel, as far as their coach, that dude's genius. I love him.
He's crazy, man.
I'm pretty sure he's autistic, but he's fucking awesome. And did you know he was black?
No.
He's a black man.
Yeah, I think he's.
He's a black man.
Was he 25% black?
Is it that low? I thought he was half, but either way, who cares? The fact is, he counts towards the minority thing, because I guess a lot of people are pissed off about that they were using him as the interview. Like, we interviewed a minority, and they're like, what? Like, no one really knew, but yeah, he is.
Hey, black community, you claimed Obama as 100% black. We get this one.
We get McDaniel. You can have him.
He doesn't look like he has any black characteristics.
If you look at him, though, do you know the rapper Logic? Yeah. He was also a black guy that looks completely white.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Logic in the face. I never noticed, and then I showed Keyshawn a picture of McDaniel because he didn't believe he was black, and I was like, "Yeah, look at him." He's like, "Dude, he looks identical to Logic. Just the difference is the hair."
Yeah.
So he's a black man. He's also autistic, and he's a fucking good coach.
He definitely,
I like
him. Definitely impressing the hell out of me.
And he's funny in interviews. Like, how'd you win? Well, we scored more points than the other team.
He's gone to the Belichick school of interviewing.
No, but it's more awkward. You know what I mean?
True.
And you could tell he's just fucking with you. With Belichick, he's coming off as an asshole.
Right.
And that's his whole point. This guy he's a goofball kind of, I think, and it works.
I mean, I'm giving the Dolphins credit for what they've done so far. I just think they're not as good as they're playing.
I think the Bengals win. I think the home field matters. I think Burrow getting his groove back a little bit matters. I think our defensive backfield compared to the backfields that Tua's had to face so far matter. The fact that they don't have a strong pass rush helps us. I think this game works out in favor of Cincinnati. I see us winning. I see us evening up to 2-2, and then I see us playing Baltimore next week. So that's the game that I'm really afraid of right now. But maybe I'm putting my eggs before the chickens, or chickens before the eggs, wherever the fuck
I think it's horse before the cart.
Horse before the cart?
There's a bunch of them like that.
Yeah. None of them are that great.
Yeah, they all suck.
Well, like I said, DJ Reader not rushing to is scaring the fuck out of me. It scared me to death at the end of the game last week when what's his name, limped off.
Keep
Hendrickson.
Oh, yeah, you don't want Henderson to hurt.
No, he limped off last week in the third or fourth quarter, and I was like, oh, fuck, with him, you know what I mean? We'd be screwed, but I'm pretty confident. I think the Bengals win as well, but they have to take it like the Jets game. They have to go out hard, and they have to go out fast and try to score first.
I think getting out early is huge.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it is for this particular team.
Yeah.
I think they need that rhythm. Normally, I would rather be defense. If I win the toss, I would go with defense too, because I think in the second half, having the ball first is usually more important.
Yeah.
But I think for this team, especially right now, struggling on offense, they had
the ball.
They had an all-right game last week. It still wasn't the greatest game. They still can't fucking run the ball. And by the way, I think I like Pirine more than I like Mixon. I think he's better suited for the way they run the ball.
You know, it's funny because I actually thought, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Evans as much as we have.
I'm
for
sure surprised we haven't seen Evans. Don't get me wrong there. And we did see him a little bit in this game, not as much.
Right, but I'm surprised we have not begun to see him more, because I actually think he is the best group for that type of offense.
I think he's definitely the best third down kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say I like Pirine is Mixon, for whatever reason, he goes to he doesn't hit the holes and go. No. He kind of comes up and does that Le'Veon Bell thing where you just kind of pick and choose. And, you can get away with that when you're younger and you're quick. I don't know if he has that anymore. He's getting deeper into his career, and he's a gigantic man. Just put the fucking head down and run. Yeah. And that's what Pirine does. He does not stop for a second. That dude just hits a hole and runs.
But Evan does the same thing. Mixon gets the ball. He takes a step, and he goes, okay, there's no hole here. And he kind of looks around to see where he's going to go.
Right.
And what's his biggest game this year? 40 yards?
Yeah, it's not working. And as you noticed in that last drive where they were just putting their head down and running, Pirine was picking up 5-7 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And he passed up Mixon just in that drive for the whole almost the whole year, it seemed like.
Yeah, and most of the time, actually, it was funny because he would all he would do is put his helmet down and cap his back, and they would just kind of run together.
But that works.
It works.
When you got an offensive line that's blocking for you and you don't got a great defensive front and you're wearing down a team, that works. And if you're going to, I'd rather do that than get the 1-2 yards you're going to get out of Mixon. I mean, you might get a splash play here that you won't get out of Pirine.
Or a breakaway is what Mixon's good for. If he does get through that hole.
He's not really, though. When you look at
he's better than Pirine. He's faster than Pirine.
Yes, but when you look at his career numbers, Mixon doesn't have a lot of long runs.
No.
He's really, I mean, he gets the ball more than almost any other running back in the league, too.
He's leading the league in rushes.
Yeah. Like, the dude gets like 90% of the rushes. Most teams have gone to a committee kind of thing. We don't really do that. We have Mixon, and then every once in a while we'll throw someone else in. And the amount of rushes he's getting, he should have a lot more yards. He's not looked impressive this year.
He hasn't looked impressive at all.
And it's hard to blame the line when you put his backup in, and the backup's getting 2-3 yards more per carry. It's like, well, how come they're working for him but not for you? Yeah. Maybe you got to, change up your approach. Like I said, he's such a big guy. I wish he would just run forward.
Yeah.
I think he could break a lot of arm tackles, but he does that stutter step shit and waits a couple seconds, and that's great if you have a great offensive line, but we don't have that. So
Let me ask this question. Are you excited about the whiteout, though?
Yeah, those uniforms are fucking awesome.
It looks good. Have you seen the end zones, too?
No, I haven't.
So they have painted the end zones, instead of the orange and black, it is white and black now.
Nice.
And then the center B in the middle is now white and black. It is
I think that's badass.
Ass.
I was always partial to the white Bengal tiger in general, just as far as the animal queendom. Like, the white one looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, I saw them they were in practice because they've actually been in their pads and white helmet all week so they could get used to the helmet.
That's the helmet. I love the fucking helmet.
Oh, the helmet's
I love
great.
the helmet.
Oh, it's such a win.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on to our little buddy stopping by.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see what he has to say.
He didn't do well last week.
He sucks.
Nick Marchetti here, world's best crap stealer and recent owner of a waxed asshole. I took Chris's advice, and I got my brown eye waxed. He's right, it feels great. After it healed up, I got fucked by 3 dudes in a Rowley's bathroom, because that's what you do when you get your butthole waxed. Chris is a goddamn weirdo, right? Week 3 once again showed that I'm not very good at this shit, but guess what? Did Elvis give up on his love for Priscilla when he found out she was only 14? Did R. Kelly stop when the first teenager told him she's not in a piss play? Did Ted Bundy give up when his victim survived his initial bludgeoning? Fuck no! Let's take our shot. I'm 2-6 on the year, but my good buddy Mel Gibson just left a message telling me what to do next. Blame the Jews! Well, that took a turn, right? Fucking Mel is goddamn wacky. God damn it. Jesus. Anyhow, take the Jags and the 7 points on the road in Philly. Trevor Lawrence may look like his mother fucked an Afghan hound, but he will keep him in the game while those disgusting Philly fans bleed cheese whiz and die slowly with every bite they stuff their fat face with. Next, take Arizona, +1.5 against Carolina. Kyler Murray may look like a midget crackhead running from the police half the time, but at least he isn't Baker fucking Mayfield. Now, if this parlay doesn't hit, I'll fart my own goddamn soup. Take the Steelers, Cowboys, and Packers to win straight up. That's it. I have kittens to drown. Remember to power pressure field bets and to use a silly straw next time you felt your uncle. 5-2, I'm through. Marchetti, out.
I think he's getting more and more angry as the year goes. With his record going from 2-6 now,
he's doing
pissed.
He's not doing well, man.
And he gets so angry.
He's a very angry little man. He doesn't stand losing, but he's friends with Mel Gibson.
Well, the funny part about that is the way he talks after the Mel Gibson part of that little ploy.
Yeah,
that's what he sounds like at 2 a.m.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's never seen that part of the morning in his life, and it is not working well.
No, it's like the guy doesn't even drink, so he's never been out to a bar that late. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's just not the.
He's asleep unless he has a tennis match he's betting on at 3:30 in the morning. He's usually asleep at that point.
Yeah, archery, something like that. He's betting whatever.
Yeah, but it was nice that his friend Mel stopped by and visited, had a little words of advice.
Was he insinuating that I was homosexual?
I think so. I think he said that only, if you want to get your asshole waxed, you should probably also get rammed at a rallies.
Yeah, that's untrue. Very, very much untrue.
You know what I noticed you got wrong, and I just noticed this right now?
What's that?
Rallies don't have bathrooms. You can't even go inside.
You're right.
Yeah, unless you're working at a rallies.
You know what they do have? They have that little storeroom in the back where they keep the buns and shit.
They do.
That's where he got fucked.
But you would have to be fucking rallies employees at that point. You can't just go in randomly.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
He fucking sucks.
Yeah, Marchetti's awful at this game.
I'm not going to follow his bets anymore. I don't like...
It's probably a good
Can't
move.
blame you there, buddy.
No, I think...
What don't you like?
One week he went 0-2.
This week.
I don't like Pittsburgh.
He never went 0-2. He always does 3, and he's always nailed at least one. Pittsburgh.
He said Pittsburgh.
Oh, win straight up? Who were they playing? I forget.
The parlay was Pittsburgh, Green Bay, and...
Well, it was Philly. I think it was Philly. And now, I would not...
He's betting against Philly. He's taking Jacksonville +7. Jacksonville's playing good, man.
But so is Philly.
So is Philly. I get it. And I expect Philly to win, but I just don't think they're going to beat them by 7.
I will say this. I have never been so wrong than I have about Jalen Hurts.
I'm right there with you.
Oh, my God.
I hated Jalen Hurts.
I feel like it's early. Well, I went through 2 phases. There was a point where I wanted the Bengals to draft him. That was before we had Burrow. He came out the year before, I think. Or did he come out the same year as Burrow?
No, year before.
He was the year before.
Okay, yeah. And I, at that point, we needed the quarterbacks, and I was thinking, well, you can get Jalen Hurts in the second, third round, and he's going to be a project, but in the future, he might be good. He just needed more time. So at that time, I was kind of in the Jalen, but then he actually got drafted, and I saw the way he played in Philly that first year. I'm like, ugh, I don't think this is going to work out.
I mean, I always think of Jalen Hurts as Alabama Jalen Hurts, which was awful, and it lost to Tua. Which, we going back to Tua again.
True,
so.
But then he transferred, and he ended up putting up some numbers.
He looked great in Oklahoma, but I think everybody looks good in the Big 12.
Okay. Yeah, it is lesser of a league.
Yeah.
Well, shit, especially starting a couple years from now when the two best teams go over to the SEC.
Right.
And then they get like Cincinnati and some other teams, which I'm glad that Cincinnati's going to a power conference, but at the same time, we're not talking about a great power conference.
Right.
But oh well, I mean, good. Then we have a chance to win.
No, I will say that emphatically, I was so wrong about Jalen Hurts. He looks fantastic.
He does.
Well,
and I don't know Miles Sanders is even playing this year. I mean, Philly's got. I thought when they got what's his fuck from Tennessee,
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. I said with Jalen Hurts, he actually has a guy now who can get to his ball. So I thought they were going to be a little dangerous there. I still thought Miles Sanders was going to suck. Last year he did nothing. This year he's stepping his game back up a little bit. Philly's blocking for him. I don't know. I'm surprised.
Running backs and receivers are related, man. If you got a couple good wide receivers, it's going to open up the running back to get more yards. In general, obviously it's not working out with fucking Mixon, but otherwise that's usually the way that it works. It's just not working there. Philly's defense is playing really good too. That's another thing that's happening.
I mean, they're a complete team right now.
But Marchetti said you might be gay. You have us a question, right?
Yeah, I do.
So we may as well just get to that one as soon as I figure out the words. Does that make me gay? Featuring Chris Tease.
Well, now I've got a complex over it since what's his fuck, but I guarantee Nick Marchetti probably hasn't seen a vagina up close in years.
Well, no, man. And plus, look how far his fucking asshole's dilated. Obviously, he's seen some action.
Well, yeah, he's seen some guy action.
He has gotten worked over.
Yeah.
He has. I think he's been
got
fisted.
A gaper, dude.
I think he's been fisted. But, sometimes I ask myself questions, does this make me gay?
You ask yourself.
Well, because I just don't know.
I don't know if you're gay or not?
No. All right, so let's say I'm dating. Here's the deal. Does this make me gay?
No.
I'm dating a girl. Which ain't going to happen, so it's fictional. I'm dating a girl. She likes blowing me, but every time I nut in her mouth, she runs to the bathroom and she spits it out. Okay? So I decide as a friendly boyfriend at the time, I start drinking pineapple juice, whatever I can do. I'm Googling how to make it taste better, blah, 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 trying to get her to swallow it. Because, that's really the cookie. You know what I mean? Just the salt. That's why when you fuck a girl in the butt, it doesn't even feel that great. You just have the thing in the back of your head where every time she walks by, you could say, I was in your asshole. It's the taboo thing. All right, so I try everything. She still won't do it. Every time she runs to the bathroom and spits it out. So I'm wondering why. I'm sitting around. I can't figure it out. So one night I'm laying there masturbating. Right when I feel myself getting close, I throw my legs over my fucking shoulders and I bust in my own mouth. And I swallow it to see how it tastes. Does that make me gay?
No. Again, like most of your, does that make me gay? It makes you weird. Definitely not someone I want to hang out with. So if you're actually doing that, let me know so I can.
You really think I can get my feet over my shoulders?
The first question I actually had was, what kind of acrobatic feat does it take for you to bust in your own mouth? So.
Yeah, you either have to have a gigantic donger or be super athletic.
What's that tell you?
Huh?
I'm not super athletic. What's that tell you?
I don't know. You just said you didn't do it.
I have a good sized dong. I didn't do it. But what I'm saying is, I think if you were, if you threw your feet over your shoulders, you could get it pointed at you.
I mean, this whole thing went off the rails when you said you had a fictional girlfriend anyway. So, I mean.
Very true. The girlfriend thing will never happen again.
I don't believe you. Ever? You're never going to meet a girl where you're just like, man, yeah, I'd like to have a relationship. I mean, I ain't saying get married again or have another fucking kid, but just like.
It wouldn't, you know what? I would be up to
like,
it.
Like, hey, I want to wipe your ass when you go
at
over
least
there.
When my son would have to be out of the wanting to hang out with me.
No, I can't get you that.
You know what I mean?
But you got 2-3 years left of that.
Yeah. So maybe who knows? Never say never. But am I gay for tasting my own load?
No, you're not gay.
You're not gay. You're weird. I mean, And the whole thing is you're trying to spice it up for the lady in general. No, we don't see eye to eye because I can connect the dots, but I'm not there with you, buddy. I could care less what my cum tastes like.
I would say this. I would be concerned to think that once you had taken your own load and said, wow, that is mighty tasty, then you want to try some other guy's load? Then it's like, where does it go from there? I guess is the bigger question.
Yeah.
That's a valid question for anybody but me.
Right.
I wouldn't enjoy the load. There's not a chance in the fucking world.
You never know, man.
No, there's not a chance in the world.
Yeah. Because I think you'd like Indian food if you try that. So
no, Indian food looks like a used diaper. I will never like Indian food. It just
bothers me that he treats food like a child. Like it's all go in the... And then you say
what's not to understand about the Indian food? I don't like curry. 99% of Indian dishes are made with curry, and I don't like the flavor of curry.
Well, I don't know if 99 is, and I don't know if you... I think Indian curry is different, man. I don't like Asian curry.
I don't like curry. I don't try to make you eat things you don't like. Doesn't piss me off.
No. But you've never had it.
I've eaten Indian food. Why do you think I don't like it? I don't like curry.
Oh, okay. If you ate it, then
I don't disagree that it does look like Ronnie poop.
Yeah, but
it does.
So does Skyline. I mean, so does a lot of things that we enjoy.
Yeah, but the Indian food's not covered with 9 inches of cheese.
True.
So you can't see the runny poop.
I don't know, man. I love Indian food. I'm very offended that you don't like Indian food.
I don't like.
Now, if we were just talking about Indians, I would agree with you. But we're talking about their food. Oh, wait a minute.
Now I can eat naan. Now I can eat naan and white rice all day. But yeah.
Oh, naan's the best bread.
Naan is bread.
Crap.
Right?
Oh. Yeah.
And their rice is better. I don't know what it is. Their rice is better than everybody else's rice. I don't know how they cook it different.
Jasmine rice.
Well, I get that, but it's still better. I mean, if other people make jasmine,
I just don't like curry. I think that's the whole reason. If I could close my eyes and get away from the poop thing, but there's curry there. I don't like it.
Nah, fair enough, I guess. Not really. We're going to eat Indian food on the show eventually.
I ain't.
Yeah, you are.
Not if it's got curry in it.
Why not?
I don't like curry.
I'll eat something I don't like. You don't like.
Not a whole lot. Will you?
Yeah. Well,
you drink Jaeger?
I got a surprise.
I'll eat Indian food. You drink Jaeger.
One shot?
No.
A bottle?
The equivalent?
But here's the thing. You eat Indian food, you're full. I drink a whole bottle of Jaeger and I'm puking. That's not the same.
That's not going to go well on a podcast by the end of it.
I'm thinking you do 3 shots of Jaeger.
I can do that.
No Red Bull.
I don't like Red Bull.
Okay, because that taints the Jaeger.
Taint.
It does. It taints the Jaeger.
Hey, let's get to the main event of the show because we don't know how long this is going to think. Here's the thing. We did a quiz before, kind of, that Matt Hudson did. We talked about that. You didn't like the questions. I thought they were perfectly fine. I won, of course. And you ended up having to get a dick tattooed on your leg. Now,
I did.
That's a hell of a punishment. This punishment, I don't think, is as bad.
It's not.
But it still sucks. I'm not looking forward to it. If it happens to me, we are going to have to color our hair. The choice is the winners. You were telling me that I'm going to color my hair orange.
You'll be Bengals orange, but not for Bengals because you have, hints of red in your hair. I want you to look like Carrot Top with short hair. I mean, I want ginger out of you.
I've went through a couple different things in my head of how I wanted to do you. I thought about black because that would look hilarious because you would just look like a desperate old man.
That's
trying
exactly
to stay
what I
young.
would look
so
like.
that would cause a connotation that I like. He mentioned earlier white. I kind of like that too. You're just go full fucking white. But I think bleaching our hair is a little unfair because when you bleach your hair, it really does fuck up your hair. And as he pointed out, that might be your last hurrah.
Yeah, that might be the end of your hair.
Yeah, we bleach your hair and you might just be bald the rest of your life.
You're going to end up like me.
And as funny as that is to me, it's not fair. So we're not going to go bleach. Either one of us won't bleach.
It has nothing to do with fair. I wouldn't do it. I mean, I'm not going to let you fucking make me bald.
Okay, fair enough. But either way, you're going red. I want...
The one color you said you fucking hated?
Yes, that's why. Because I hate it. And I would hate to have bright fucking red hair.
That red?
As bright of red as I can find.
I will say, though,
you're going to look like
with that white beard right now would look fantastic.
It would look weird. But here's my problem with it.
That's what I said last night.
Other people that see him that don't know him, they won't register as much. Oh, douche. But if he's out in public with bright red hair at his age, you just look like a fucking freak. All right, a fucking miscreant. So yeah, red. You're red. I'm orange.
You're orange.
Right.
You're Bengal orange.
All right.
Like
that's fine.
Now I told you the one thing I said is I can't do this until November.
That's fine with me. Yeah, he's worried about
parent-teacher conference, and I'm not going in there with that hair.
See, I probably have one too. I don't give a shit, so I'll do it.
Mine's a big one. It's the counselors and all the teachers, and yeah.
If I lose, I'll color my hair this weekend, I guess, at some point. Okay. Or no, I'm getting my hair cut next Thursday. I'll do it after I get
And how long do we have to keep this?
We're not going to get the permanent hair dye, but I don't understand hair dye or how long that works, so we'll have to look into that. But somewhere in between just washout and permanent, something that's there for a couple weeks.
Well, I will say this, given it's someone who has dyed their hair with cheap hair dye, don't do that, because if you do, you're going to go one color for a day, and then it might be a array of different colors over the next 2 weeks.
You're right.
Which would be funnier, actually. But
I've only used like good hair dye, like Manic Panic and shit like that, old school, and I've had my hair every fucking color you can probably think of at one point or another. So I've done a lot of hair dyeing. I don't know many of them that only last for 2 weeks, but I've never looked into that market.
Well,
either.
we need to do some research for that because
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Loser pays?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. All right. Well, Scott, take it away.
All right, here we go. So we have 20 questions. It's based on 4 different subjects. One will be Cincinnati trivia, so information about Cincinnati. Second will be sports and gambling, which I kind of lean towards Jason on this one.
Ooh.
Third one will be stats about social media. Interesting little tidbits I found there. And then fourth will be porn and sex, which obviously I will lean towards Chris.
I even said that when he told me the categories. Like, well, I'm fucked in that section, so
watch my share of porn, Jim.
I can't. Yeah, I'm going against a cocksmith here, so
right. So the idea of this is all of these have numbers. The person with the number that's closest to the correct answer will receive 1 point. If you hit the number on the nose, you will receive an additional bonus point.
Ooh, yeah,
so
like
2 points.
I like that.
If for any reason that you make a guess and it happens to fall under the category of, like, they'll just say, for example, you're both 10 points off, we'll just slap that in half and you'll get a half point. Okay.
Okay.
And then at that point, person with the most questions answer.
Most points wins.
Most points wins. Yeah. So pretty simple. The idea of these were, again, as I did numbers, but also things that I found that were just interesting. And I thought, you might be able to have a conversation about it. So the Cincinnati one's not so much. Obviously, when we get to porn and sex, we'll have some fun.
Now, I give him the advantage on the Cincinnati one. I wasn't born here.
Yeah, but we've probably lived almost equal time here. Well, no, I guess not. Nah. All right, anyways.
Yeah.
You pick stuff up as you go.
It's kind of 50-50.
You've been here 20 years. It's not like you're a newbie, We're not talking about a guy who moved here recently.
Yeah, and I don't think that any of these are ones that you're just going to nail right on the nose and say, hey, I know that. So I think any of these questions.
Now, are we writing our answers down? Because he could Price is Right me all night long.
That's probably the best way to do it.
Okay. Well, shit.
You got a couple of fucking right there.
Yeah, just use the Post-it notes.
I don't know if I got pens.
Yeah, I could see him Price is Right.
Now, that's a great point. Let's,
I guess 50. 51.
Yeah.
See, I'm not that guy, but I give it to you.
You would be if you were.
Right.
I've heard they say. If we get down to the crunch.
No, you're right. I would take it over here. You guys host the show together. I'll be right back.
Because let me tell you something. I'll do it to you.
Right.
I mean, if I'm avoiding red hair, I'll do it to you.
I mean, there's a lot at stake here. We don't want to,
Now, how broad are these number ranges? Is this like, how many fucking people are on Facebook kind of thing?
I mean, there are some that are kind of what I've done is I've broke it down. So if it's in the millions, I will say you just have to come up with that number million. So I'm not going to,
okay, I get it.
So, it might be 500 million, but we're only going to write 500.
I get it.
So, and I will make that point before the question is asked as to, what comes in those. Some of them you have to try to nail the exact number. But obviously when it gets to, if it's in the millions, thousands, or billions, we'll let you know accordingly. So
I got it.
And it's the closest to. There's not Price is Right rules.
Right. Not Price is Right rules. This is none of the over issues. We will go closest to.
All right.
So, all right.
Let's bring it on.
All right. So the first one is Cincinnati. So there are many different weird little neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati. West Price Hill, Norwood, all of those. Please name for me the number of neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, not Hamilton County. Cincinnati. I need some music for this one.
Ding, ding.
We need the Jeopardy theme.
He can put Jeopardy on the end. The number of cities.
The number of neighborhoods.
Right.
They're called
Like,
neighborhoods.
We probably get knocked out if we fucking put the Jeopardy thing. All right, I wrote down mine. Neighborhoods or cities? I forget what you said.
Neighborhoods.
Yeah,
So you're talking like Bond Hill, Price Hill.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I've taken a guess because this is all a guess.
There's at least 2. You just named them.
There you go. You know, at least
All right.
2.
My guess is 13.
My guess
13?
is 29.
All right. The correct answer is 52.
Jesus
52
Christ.
neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati.
Christ, is there really?
Yes, I was shocked. I was very shocked by that. I knew there were a lot.
They're making up neighborhoods. That's like, this is Anderson, and all of it's Anderson, but if you go over, it's like Turpin Hill.
Well, that's what.
And Spruce Hill, and you're just like, no, this is all fucking Anderson.
Cincinnati,
Knock
you
it
got
down.
Amberley
Well,
Village.
it's East Walnut
St.
Hills,
Bernard.
Hyde Park. I mean, I think
Okay.
there's like 12 different ways of
They can-
Walnut Hills. It's kind of silly.
All right, you're up, buddy. See, and the Cincinnati
all
one.
righty.
The Cincinnati
Jesus on the board.
I
Yes.
remember it's orange.
All right. The Carew Tower was built in 1923. It was our city's largest building until the Great American Building took that from there. In the 30s, there were a number of jumpers, lots of suicides that happened. Now, the last suicide was 1987. That's the last person. And the funny story is there is actually a ghost on the 15th floor from a jumper who fell off the observation deck but did not land on the ground, landed on the 15th floor, because if you know the Carew Tower, it's not linear.
Yeah.
Right.
There's little sides. So he hit the side instead of the road below. And now there's a ghost on the 15th floor. So, side note.
Turns out when you're like into suicide, it also helps to be a little bit athletic, because if you don't make the jump properly, you might just break your leg.
Well, he still
you know what I mean?
died, though, right?
Yeah.
He still
Right.
died.
Okay, well, he still died, but either way, like, it helps to have a good jump.
Yeah, I would say
So you might like if you're training for suicide, maybe practice your long jump before you go through with it,
There you go.
or just shoot yourself in the fucking head.
So please name for me the number of jumpers that have died off the Carew Tower.
Total. Ever.
Total.
All right.
Ever. Like I said, string in the 30s. 1987 was the last. So I did find it odd. It's been 35 years since anyone had jumped off the Carew
That is
Tower.
weird, because you can do that anytime, guys. If you guys in Cincinnati decide to kill yourself, I think it's only $2 to go up to the top, and maybe even free. I don't remember. I haven't been in a couple years. But
Well, the amazing part of
Give
it,
it a
too,
try.
is now it is the largest vacant building in the city because that thing is relatively empty.
yeah, they used to have a really shitty mall in there.
See, now you're talking from the 30s, so you're talking like the Great Depression.
Yeah.
There could have been a lot of them.
Yeah, that's why he said there was a string. All right, you go first this time.
I have 22.
Okay.
I have 17.
All right. The correct answer is 19. So
that's
Jason
me.
wins by 1.
Boom, boom, boom.
I had 18 written down there,
Oh,
and
really?
I changed it because I thought of the Depression.
Yeah,
I said that was
No,
right, the Great Depression.
I actually thought it was going to be way more because of the Depression.
Now, when he said a string, I'm thinking it's not like 30 string. That's like 6. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a
Yeah, I literally had 18 written down, and I'm like, I don't know. You're talking 30s, man. These people had no money and no food. And all right.
Well, and the odd part about it was, honestly, like I said, I couldn't believe that there hasn't been a jumper since 1987.
yeah, man. It's not too late, guys. Go jump.
Yeah.
We need a new stat,
We do not
Well, they've had
condone
the guy-
suicide.
especially if you're on my celebrity death list.
So they did have a guy, though, who has parachuted off the Carew Tower 3 different times.
Really?
Yeah.
and been
made it every
arrested
time?
every time.
No, actually, I think he escaped twice.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What an awesome dude.
Because the cops are just waiting for you.
Yeah, that was, I mean,
Yeah, are they? I mean, it's not like a parachute takes forever, where they got time to call the cops or
Well,
anything.
No,
you know?
but off the Carew Tower, where would it have time to open, man? You're wedged in a lot of
15
fucking buildings
years
there.
ago, that base jumping thing was huge.
Yeah.
And so that's where it came from, was like 15 years ago, people were base jumping off of all sorts of weird shit.
And then there was like a freestyle climb thing. People were like climbing the PNC building or the P&G building there for a little while, doing all sorts of other dumb shit. That shit cracks me up.
Yeah.
Idiots.
All right, question 3. The city of Cincinnati is named for Lucius Cincinnatus.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude, I'm sure.
With that name, you don't got a choice.
Right. So he was an old Roman politician, and I think he was a soldier as well, if I remember correctly. But anyway, so the answer to the question for this one is, please name the date of his death.
The date of his death.
Well, not just the year.
Fuck. You don't have to put the BC or AD or whatever on the end of this motherfucker.
That might be important.
Ah, you just threw me off. I didn't even think about the fact this guy was
Yeah, actually, Chris should have kept that to himself.
Yeah.
All right, a pure guess here. Pure guess.
Looks like Jason's still writing.
All right. What's your guess?
You go first.
You go
this
first
time.
on that. Yeah, you go first this time.
I went old.
So did I.
200 BC.
200 BC, Chris?
1322
AD or BC?
AD.
Okay. The correct answer is 430 BC. Jason will be the winner.
Boom,
on this one.
shakalaka. Hey, man,
That's
if you wouldn't
old.
have said anything, I was going to say 1735 because I thought it was someone that actually came to Cincinnati, and because I'm,
Yeah,
not
so I
paying-
fucked myself there.
Yeah, you did. And actually, yeah, you kind of opened the door.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
nice. Okay. Question 4.
Ready?
The last win from the Bengals was the New York Jets, obviously, on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
How many total wins now do the Cincinnati Bengals have as a franchise?
Ooh, a franchise.
Wow.
Yeah, this is tough because they suck, and they've sucked a long time.
I mean, I don't know what year the Bengals were founded.
I knew that.
I don't.
Well, I'm sorry about your luck.
If you're looking for guidance here, I'm not going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just trying to. They did suck for a lot of years.
Oh man, yeah, and I'm bad at this too. So
I will say this. I was actually surprised at this number.
okay, I put my number down. It's random as fuck. I did a little math.
Okay.
All right.
Total guess, because I don't know when they were founded.
All right,
735 wins.
Well, there's no chance there,
Chris,
but
735?
436.
The correct answer is 374.
Wow, is that all they got?
Well, here's how I came up with my bullshit
Well, I
answer.
said 50 years. You know what I mean? I guess 50 some odd years, 50, 60
Yeah,
years in existence.
they were founded in 68.
Yeah, 68 was their first.
So
one.
yeah, I did 50 years in my head, and then I multiplied that times 10 is 500. And then I knew, well, they don't win 10 games a year, so then I took some away.
Well, see,
That
I
was
fucked
kinda
up
way to do
because,
it.
the season used to be shorter, and I was figuring, I don't know, somewhere in the 70s they might have been founded. I don't know.
Well, I found it odd because I was thinking Don Shula won over 300 games himself. And I was like, God, I can't believe that. They barely have won more than Don Shula.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, see.
Hey, I just read the other day, Belichick's in reach of that. He has to win 10 games for the next 3 years, and he would pass Don Shula. And they said Andy Reid would have to win, I believe, 10 games over the next 7 years, and then he would pass Belichick if he was to do that. So
See, like I said,
I don't think either of them
took
are
a
playing
crazy
that long.
stab on the fact that what year they were founded. That I didn't know.
yeah, but you just said you knew 50-year anniversary.
Well,
so it was
no,
close
I
enough.
was thinking if
You're
it's
using the
50
same
or
math I
60
am.
years, 10 wins a year,
Even that, how do you come up with 700?
well, because I didn't know exactly what year. So I said,
know,
does
but-
it count as playoff games too? Or playoff games
They've
counted
won
here
like
too? I didn't know.
one playoff game.
They weren't. Well, what's odd was it wasn't as bad like winning percentage wise as I thought because I think it was 374 and like 438.
Okay.
So it was like 440 somewhere in that neighborhood. I thought, well, that's not terrible.
No, I mean, they had a lot of mediocre years, too.
And they had 5 ties.
All right,
Five
so-
ties.
Five in their entire
Yeah.
existence.
I am up
ties.
3-1. Let's go.
I see that.
Yeah, 3-1. All right, so same question, but we're going to change teams, and we'll go to your beloved Cincinnati Reds, who I tried to figure out when the last time they actually won because the Pirates are absolutely owning this team right now.
The Pirates beat us all the time. I don't
Right.
get it.
Wow,
Actually,
this number is
actually,
gonna be
it
huge.
was Sunday. It was against the Brewers, but now you want to guess the total number of Cincinnati Reds wins in the franchise.
See, that is a hard one.
That's
there.
a toughie.
Yeah, you're talking. Well, I'm not going to give you anything.
You shouldn't. And I'm grasping at straws anyway, so let me think here. I gotta do math on this.
They did start in 1869, just because I was.
How come you didn't tell me what year the Bengals started, fuckface? That's cheating.
That's not cheating.
Calm
It
down.
is cheating.
How's it cheating?
The Reds thing was the Reds is almost common knowledge.
Plus
Did you know 1869?
I didn't know the exact year, but I knew it was right around that time.
Fucking cheating. That's cheating. That's the one you gave him for me being late.
Shut the
There you
fuck
go.
up.
That you know what?
we-
I will accept that.
We both have the
I
same.
will accept
But
that.
we both have the same information. You gave us both the information. All right. And you knew how long they had started. You said 50 years. You were right.
I gotta
that
mind.
was close.
I gotta admit though, I don't mind sticking it to Chris a little for being an hour late.
Yeah,
So.
fuck him.
This could be a big number.
All right, I got mine.
Ready?
Yeah. I got mine. I got, you done writing?
No, he's still writing.
Jesus Christ, dude. Don't you have to pick your kid up?
Yep.
We got to get going.
He's like doing math over here. It's pretty interesting.
I
You're
did
talking
quick
over
math.
100 years.
Well,
dude.
I get it, but
I did quick math too, but
Okay.
all right.
I got 11,170.
I got 11,300.
Ooh, that's close.
All right. So the correct answer is 10,773.
Boom!
Jason 4-1. This is getting ugly.
This is getting ugly, but whoa!
Oh, that was worth it.
All worth it. Bring me the hair dye. God, think about that.
So
120 years of baseball or whatever, and our guesses were 200 apart.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was actually
Hey,
pretty
what math
impressive.
did you do? I didn't do the exact math.
I did 140 years times 80 games.
That's hilarious. That's exactly what I did. How we come up with different names or different numbers.
11,300 is 140 times 80.
Well, I'll tell you the funny part about that, too, is they actually only played like 10 or 15 games a year from like 1869 to like 1890. And then they actually disbanded for 10 years. So it's actually...
No, you were wrong about your math. See, that's the best part.
No, it wasn't. 32.
I just did it on the calculator.
Hold on a second. 0.
You put 11,000, it had 11,200 on there.
Oh, there's my math. There's my problem right there.
Yeah, he fucked up the math. That's hilarious because we came up with the exact same.
You had the same
theory.
exact formula?
Dude, I have it written down. I have it crossed down now, but 140 times 80.
That's what I did.
And I did the math, and your math was
Your
wrong.
math was wrong.
Well, you guys were fucking looking at me laughing, and I saw the word.
That's so funny. All right, let's go.
Well, the difference was Jason's math took about all of 15 seconds. Yours took about 3.5 minutes.
That's another funny thing. But let's move on.
Believe me, my math is fine. I was sitting here thinking.
I don't doubt that it is.
Well, I was questioning my whole self the whole time. Should I go 80 or should I go 90?
Crap Steelers.
80? Should I go 90? Should I go 80? Should I go 90? And that was my question.
Well, I did 80. I did the math. I came up with the 2 seconds.
160 games.
And you were wrong, but go on.
500.
All right.
We had the same reasoning.
There's actually 6 Cincinnati questions, which now probably feels like that's leaning toward Jason a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's like when you told him the year that the Reds were founded.
There you go.
No, dude,
Okay.
we would have. Don't give him that excuse. We had the exact same answer. He just couldn't do the fucking math. Anyways,
That's true. Okay. Number 6. The Cincinnati was in the attempt to build a subway. Actually, you can find a lot of these ruins still around Eden Park. Interesting note, still costs $2.8 million a year for the city to maintain these subways.
that's just they got people down there with brooms chasing off bums. I think they just pay them.
Gay people hang out in Eden Park, too.
And
Well,
the-
actually,
a lot
it's
of gay sex in Eden Park.
Actually,
A lot
it's
of
an
gays in the
infrastructure
subway.
issue because there are roads and bridges above it that actually have to stay maintained, and so they have to keep that subway system up
Okay.
in order to maintain the bridges. But I like the bum part.
I
honestly.
like tease. He went instantly. The gay people live in Eden Park.
Well,
That has
no.
nothing to do with the subway. It has nothing to do with
Because that's a big thing in Eden Park right now.
What?
The police and the residents are chasing off gay men that are having public sex in Eden Park all the time.
No. But he's talking about the subway. You don't. That don't cost money. The chase off the gays in Eden Park. It's cost money to maintain the subway, and you went straight to the gays.
You went to the bums?
'Cause they
What's
would
your
live-
problem with homeless people?
Nothing. They live in the fucking subway tunnels.
And gay people want privacy. All right, come on. We got to
There
go.
you go. All right.
Gay
So
people
please
want
name for me the number of feet of track that are still that still exist in the Cincinnati subway.
All right.
The number of feet of track. Fuck, this is a blind guess. How far did they get? How long did they build?
That's a great question.
I don't know, and I have no idea what to put here. So I'm
Well,
just
what's
writing
funny
down the
was
number.
it actually the total came to me in a different number, and I had to convert it to feet in order to make the.
The kilometers and shit.
Fuck, this is a pure blind guess, man.
Well, then-
I mean, Scott.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably didn't even know there was a subway in
I had no
Cincinnati,
fucking
so there
idea.
you go.
I knew that, but I didn't know where that.
1,140 feet of track.
Okay.
I want 44,000.
Chris is the winner on this one.
right.
The correct answer is 11,100. It was actually 2.2 miles of track.
And it's all around
Literally.
the Eden Park. That's where they
So
started.
it was kind of up to the idea was to actually go around the outskirts of the city
Like 275.
Yeah, very similar to 275.
I have no idea how many feet in a mile unless I would have done some better mathematician stuff on that.
Well, that's why I didn't want to get. I almost gave you the miles number, but then I thought, with Chris's math, that might be trouble.
Well,
yeah, don't do that.
5,200 and
5280.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, next.
All right, sounds good. So that's the end of the Cincinnati section. The next one will be sports and gambling. Now, the first one will be obviously with baseball. Everyone seems to know numbers as to some of the greatest stats in history, like 7-14 for Babe Ruth, all that good jazz. However, the NBA is not so hot when it comes to knowing the exact numbers. So the first question is, please name for me the total amount of points of the leading point scorer in the NBA, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
The total number of points.
Right. So the funny stat about this, so they asked 100 people, or they asked 1,000 people if they knew this number, and only 1% of the population knew, or 1% of the people knew the actual number.
See, I've heard
where in
the
baseball,
number, but I don't remember any of it.
Right. In baseball, like everyone knows those numbers like that.
All right, I wrote down a number.
God, hold on. Give me a second. He played so fucking long.
Yeah.
That's why I just took a stab in the dark.
All right, well, then I'll take a stab in the dark.
I'm probably way off.
Okay.
Am I first? Not that it matters. We both
yes, you're first.
13,780.
Okay, Chris?
12,500.
Oh, wow. So Bauman wins this. The
Nice.
total is 38,387.
Wow, we're both so off.
38,000 points.
Wow.
And
God, we're so off in that.
I did not write it.
I don't know why that number was stuck in my head. It was
What did you say?
1380? Or 13,780?
13,780.
Yeah, so we were close to our estimates, but
I thought at least somebody would be in the 20s.
Really?
I used to think it was like 26 or 20, because actually it was funny when I checked that question. I thought it was like 26,000.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was less than 20, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
All righty.
5-2.
5-2.
I'm through.
Yeah.
All righty.
5-2, I'm through.
So this one surprised me because obviously in the NHL, a hat trick is 3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised to find out that the number of people who have had actually 5 goal games. Think about that in the NHL. 5 goals is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually surprised by this number. Give me the number of 5 individuals who have scored 5 games in an NHL game.
Give me the number
total
of
number?
5.
So the total number of games in which a person has scored 5 goals.
Oh, gosh.
All right, I got my guess.
Okay.
All right. You're up, Chris.
14.
14?
22.
The correct answer is 60.
60?
Oh, my
I was
God.
I was shocked. I was like, I can't remember the last time I even saw 5 goals in a game from a team.
See, I'm getting my ass kicked here, but I like this format so much better. But it's amazing how far off we both are on some of these.
We're both idiots.
Well, no, he's not an idiot. Who would think that who's going to score 5 fucking goals?
To me, I honestly would have been in the single digits. I didn't think that was even possible.
Because I was sitting there thinking, well, I could see it on ESPN going all over the fucking... Somebody scored 5 goals today. It's only happened 3 or 4 more times.
Yeah, I feel like I've only seen that happen a couple times.
Right. So it was
But then again, I pay no attention to hockey.
I wonder if anybody's ever done it twice.
Actually, the 2 most were actually Gretzky and Lemieux did it 4 times.
Okay.
And I was shocked. I mean, it was shocking to me.
See, that's why I thought it would be in the 20s. I figured, there's enough Gretzky's type player. Well, not him, but, really good players that would have something like that.
I had 11 written down, and then I crossed it over and made it a 14. I said, maybe he's shocked by the number. Maybe it'd be a little higher. Yeah. I honestly thought it was going to be like 4. 5.
Yeah, I was blown away by that number because I thought there's no way 60 people. Now, granted, I'm sure in the 60s, like, they were winning 12-1 or shit like that, but
yeah.
Wow. All right, cool.
7-2. I'm getting crushed.
Yeah, 6-2.
6-2, but
6-2.
I'll take the extra.
But still getting crushed. All right, the 1999 St. Louis Rams are known as the biggest underdog when it comes to preseason odds to win the Super Bowl. And of course, I think that was the team with Warner. I think
it was
Warner
the team with Warner before Warner was Warner.
Right. I don't even think he started that year as on that team.
I think he was a backup. I forget who their starter was at the time. He wasn't a bad quarterback, but anyhow, Warner took over. He went straight from fucking working at Lowe's or whatever.
Yeah. So the question is, please name for me the preseason odds of that team.
All right.
In this case, I'm doing it in plus terms. So, like, if you're betting like plus 300 or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay. That's what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. So I just throw that number out there.
And they're the biggest ever.
They were the biggest preseason long shot. The funny stat about that is actually it would have been the Bengals had they won the Super Bowl last year, which I found that shocking.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Jason.
I got plus 4,500.
Plus 4,500. Chris?
I got plus 13,000.
The correct answer is plus 15,000.
Ooh,
Chris got that one. Yeah.
Good job.
Could you imagine though? $100 bet on that? 1.5 million.
That's insane.
1.5 million.
Boom. That's insane. Someone hit it. There's some fucking hardcore fan that's going to put $100 on his team.
There has to be.
Aaron Kinzer probably tried that.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. The best story for him though was that Celtics one, because he actually did pick the Celtics like before the preseason, and I think it was like plus 800 or something crazy, and he was on it, and he was like, I am going to win this puppy, and it looked good for, I think after game 3 it was.
I thought the
really
Celtics
good.
had it until towards the end. That'll teach him.
So, alrighty, the next one has to do with, as we are about to enter into sports betting in the state of Ohio, thank God. I went and pulled the numbers for August of 2022, or last month, for the state of Indiana. So please name for me the total amount wagered in Indiana last month. Oof. It's in the millions, so just write the...
Yeah.
Last month.
Yep. And this is kind of a 2-part question because the second one will be the actual revenue that was
total
generated.
Number wagered in.
Wagered.
Yeah, this is wagered. In millions. You good, Jason?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Chris?
435 million.
435?
I want 142 million.
Oh, shit. No. Jason has it. The correct answer is 237.
237.
$250 million.
$237 million. And Ohio, buddy, you guys are behind the ball on this because...
Yeah, idiots.
Morons. So now the second question is the total revenue that's generated from that.
What was the number? 237?
237.
The total tax revenue?
Well, yeah. So the total revenue that the casino has made from it. Not the tax dollars. Not what what was taxed. In essence, you got to figure out the hold percentage. Best way to think about it. For you casino nerds out there.
237 million.
I will say for the month, and I will say for the month, the hold was on the high side. Benny would have been very happy.
All right.
My first?
I am this time. 144 million.
144? Jesus.
Yeah, I know. 89 million.
Yeah, neither one of you are got 25 million.
Really?
Yep.
See, I figured the hold was about 50%.
No, the hold is like 10%.
Okay, I didn't know that. I figured the hold would be a lot stronger though.
What's odd is
it was high.
As I was looking the stats, it was. So it was like right around 12%.
I just don't know what to look for. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's odd because that's right around 12%, which typically it's about 7 to 8.
Okay. Really? For in general sports betting?
Yes.
Really? I would have thought the hold would be so much stronger. I
thought
it was just
higher
a 50-50.
than casinos. Yeah.
I
it's not.
I thought you'd win half of your bets, basically. So, it would be that. But I guess with the underdogs and everything else that
and then people do stupid parlays and shit. You know what I'm saying? We should have thought about that. Hey, I'm going to do a 16.
I don't know how you came up with your number, though.
Well, he said I'm looking at high, I was thinking, first of all, like 50%.
Well, what's
like
funny,
you, and then I said, well, I'm going to go a little bit higher.
I changed my answer too, and I went to 70. I was at 73, and then I went to 89.
Well, you have to think about it. If one person's betting one side, one person's betting the other side, it's still kind of. There's a little bit of difference because of the.
You're right. I looked at it completely wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying there.
Yeah.
All right. And the idea is to get equal amounts on each side, and really you're just making money off the VIGs and shit, typically.
Right. Well, and I think the 11% hold must have been
wrong.
Something where people had bet one side and it did not go the way that they had planned.
Yeah.
Well,
for the people who bet,
Yeah, look at what was the first month in NFL in that? Or no,
August.
August, yeah. So
yeah,
I know what's
I
going on
totally
there.
looked at that the wrong way. I looked at one side, how many of these bets won, is the way I looked at it.
Chris's math again. Great
Well,
job.
no, I just looked at it different. I was like, okay, one person wins, one person loses, but I was just looking at total amount of bets won, and I figure you win half your fucking bets,
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so that concludes sports and gambling. The next 5 questions will be on social media. Actually, I think this is 4 questions. So, first question. This is my favorite one, actually. Please name for me the percentage of people. No, I apologize. We're starting over. The percent of internet time on Facebook. It's the time that
Wow.
And this came from Apple. So let me preface this. This came from Apple. So this has to do not just internet, but like on your phone.
And this is supposed to be like a percentage of time that you're actually online that you're just looking at Facebook.
Right.
Okay, not just
So
the percentage
of time that you're on the internet where
And so it wouldn't matter if you only use it an hour a day or if you use it 6 hours a day. We're looking at the total percentage.
Right.
And this is per person or for everybody?
This is per person.
Okay.
Well, it's percentage.
Everybody, yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing, yeah.
I got mine.
The percentage of...
So for all the time that you're on the internet, the percentage of that time that you're on Facebook.
Okay. All right.
I like percentages because it always reminds me of a couple game shows.
78%.
37%.
Oh, the answer is 22%.
Wow, really? I figured
Yeah.
people be doing a lot more Facebooking.
Yeah, but you think,
22% don't seem like shit.
Think about that. If you're on, I thought 22% was high, frankly.
Really?
Because I thought of all the other apps that I'm on, am I on Facebook 25% of the time?
No, but I don't think you're probably the typical internet user.
Yeah.
The typical internet user is just someone that checks their Facebook, and then that's about it.
Yeah, but they also check emails and...
And then you got to factor in porn for dudes. I mean, that's
Right.
all dudes, or at least 20%.
I mean,
I said 37.
I
and
thought Chris
it
would say
be high.
5% because he thought, well, I'm spending the other 80% on porn.
Well, no, I mean, I check my emails. I check my fucking...
other 80%.
all your fucking credit cards that you get on there and check your balances, your bank. That's all internet. So
Yeah.
I figured a third. So.
Oh, that was
all right, Chris is catching up. 7-4.
Subtle math jab there. I like.
7-4.
7-4.
He didn't even catch it. Anyways,
Hey, we got literally like 20 minutes.
I know that's why we got to keep
All
going.
right, so here we go. Likes per minute on Facebook. So the number of likes per minute. Now, this one I'm going to ask for the full number, but it is not a small number. I'll put it that way.
No.
Likes per minute on Facebook.
Total guess.
I mean, how would you know?
Yeah, no idea.
This
All
was
right,
shit that was all new to me, frankly.
I got mine.
Okay.
3.2 million.
Oh, 900,000. 910,000 to be exact.
3,125,000. You almost nailed that.
damn, I'm
you
good at this
almost nailed that.
What's the actual
I thought, would he
number?
get the bonus point on that if he gets into 3 millions? I feel like he should get
I
2.
feel like I should get something, but it's all right. I don't need bonus
What was
points.
your guess?
I think,
3.2.
dude, you're almost
He was
mathematically eliminated from
He was
this.
right on it.
It's 8-4.
My
It's 8 to
magic
4.
number's 2.
Your magic
Yeah.
number is 3 to win, 2 to tie.
What happens if you tie?
I got 9.
You have 8, according to Scott.
I thought I had
It's
9.
8-4.
8-4?
Yeah.
I got 9-4.
Oh, there are 13.
Yeah, I got 9.
Oh.
It is 9-4. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm keeping track over here.
I'm doing a great job.
My magic number's 2.
What a great game show host I am. All righty.
God, you're gonna look awesome with red hair.
You know what? I'm sure I've looked worse.
All right. So the next question is the average American and the amount of time that they spend on social media, not just Facebook. This is all of social media.
Like per
So
day?
per
How many
day.
minutes per day?
Per day. And I will find, this is the interesting part, it's actually lower than the world average,
Oh, that does
which
surprise me.
shocked me.
How many minutes per day?
How many minutes per day? By the way, Nigeria is actually the country with the most
What?
minutes per day.
There's nothing else to do in Nigeria. What
Well,
are
you have to
gonna do?
remember, they're spending $8 a day trying to scam you, so they're probably on social
That's
media.
true. Those dudes love some scams. All right, I got mine.
I don't know anything. I wouldn't have a guess. It's a guess. 51 minutes.
Well, your guess is close to mine. I went 45 minutes.
The correct answer is 134 minutes.
Look at
that was shy over 2 hours.
Look at T's catching up.
By the way, that made me physically nauseous.
There's only 6 more questions
132 minutes a day.
134 minutes a day.
6 more questions left.
And keep in mind, that was below the worldwide average. I think the worldwide average was like 145 or something like that. So that's shocking.
If I get 2 out of the next 6, game's
all right.
over.
Well, this is where Chris comes back because this is the porn and sex category.
Fuck.
Yeah, but these are going to be numbers. How many inches can Ron Jeremy shoot a load? I don't know.
You got a better idea than I would, probably.
Anyways. And keep in mind, you might hit one on the number here. So remember, that's the bonus point.
Yeah, man.
So you're not
point.
mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, you're right. I can I can just get 1 and be done.
All right. So Marilyn Monroe, obviously, as we know, has been plowed by many a men, notably probably the President of the United States, which it's kind of ironic that those scandals weren't that big a deal back then.
You got to sling some dick in the 60s. What else are you going to do?
There you go. However, in her biography, she also has 5 women love. Shut up, a bitch! I just gave away the fucking number.
5.
That was my guess. 5.
Yeah. Oh, what did I do? That's terrible.
He's like the Steve Harvey of hosts.
That was a total Steve Harvey moment, kids.
Hey, that is the ultimate dyke experience.
All right. Dyke. Well, now we got a 19 question.
So it's cool.
Thing.
He'll come up with another question. I'm just not going to give you half a point right there.
Yeah, I've got a backup just in case. What sucked was
it's fine.
She also had her lovers were like Joan Crawford, like real big actresses.
Really?
Wow.
I didn't know that.
It was actually pretty interesting.
5.
I mean, you know what? I would jerk off to Joan Crawford and Marilyn scissoring.
Oh, man.
And me, I don't even know who the fuck Joan Crawford is. So, whatever. Let's
go. All right.
Who is she?
Old actress.
Yeah. Why would I care?
Please name for me the percent of porn performers that have used marijuana on the set.
Percentage?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I got 68%.
67%.
Oh my God.
The correct answer is 79%.
Bam!
I could not believe
we were close.
4 of 5 have used marijuana, I guess, in order to loosen up a little.
There's got to be something on there, man.
Yeah.
What's funny is
if you're about to take a horse cock about this fucking big,
What's funny now is that's 2 questions where we've pretty much had the same goddamn answer.
Yeah.
That one off, but the Reds one
The Reds one is ridiculous that we both got the exact same formula.
Yeah, well, the ridiculous part is you couldn't do the math.
I was trying to hurry, and I was doing it longhand on this fucking thing.
I did it too.
All right, this one was my
I was going to use the calculator, but then I was like, he'd see it up top.
Oh.
So I didn't.
This one was my favorite question of the group. So please name for me the percentage of people who have used their work computer for porn.
I've never done that.
You've delivered pizza. You didn't have a computer.
I had other jobs, but yeah. And there was a computer there. All right?
I will say this. I know that there was one attempt on said work computer.
Percentage?
That Big Brother nixed you on that. So
42. Or shit, I just said a number.
Big Brother nixed 2 on.
Big Brother nixed getting on the porn
really?
side at work. So
yeah, a lot of them do that.
Yeah.
All right, I got a number.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is for the loss.
This is you.
You're
first.
47%.
Wow.
I went 42%.
The correct answer is 28%, which I again found very high.
Most of our answers were close.
I did not think this would be this one-sided. Got to be honest.
I did. I mean,
most of our answers were pretty close to each other.
No, you weren't far off, honestly. And like I said, I thought 28% was kind of high, given the fact that most places were going to
be more. I think guys sitting there selling real estate, looking at, you know what I mean?
Hey, I just figured that the 50% of the population is dudes, and 75% of dudes are going to look at porn on the internet. So 42% kind of made sense.
But
to
see,
me.
here I was thinking that every time you try to get on porn on the internet at work, Big Brother's going to block you off. So,
true, you are right about that.
It's not the number that you were successful at, or attempted.
Or attempted, yeah.
So 11-5, I lose. So in November, I will be dyeing my hair fucking bozo red.
All right. Do you want to do the last two for giggles?
Yeah, for giggles.
All right, cool.
And then we'll get into
Last
our
two?
price.
Yeah. So the number of confirmed porn addicts in America.
Oh, God. Addicts?
Yeah.
The
Like-
number total?
Like clinically diagnosed?
The number total who actually, who have
Oh,
been
I mean, now I'm not gonna write
clinically
it down
diagnosed
because
as
it's
porn
whatever.
addicts.
You
You
know.
can just say it because it doesn't matter now.
Shit.
Total number of porn addicts.
I'm thinking
20 million.
Okay, I was gonna go 1.5 million. I'm going a lot less than
You know
you.
what killed me? It was only 200,000.
What? A lot of liars.
Yeah, I already say.
A lot of in the closet motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, that's
No
not
doubt.
the total number. That
I mean, I guess they're talking about like dangerous, clinically.
I don't know what that would even
porn
mean.
Addicts. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you see it on. I've seen it on talk shows where guys literally ignore their whole family.
Or
and they sit in
maybe it's the
fucking
people that
basement.
just watch porn when they're not jerking off.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
probably,
mean?
that
Because
probably has something to do with it.
That's insane. Like, who's just watching porn?
just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out watching porn. I mean, I've told the story where I went over a friend's house once and his dad was just sitting there watching porn the whole time. Never jerking off, completely dressed, but there's a bunch of 12-year-old kids running around. He's just watching porn.
Yeah, I literally.
That guy has a
the
problem.
amount of time I watch porn is the time it takes to get my dick hard and the time I nut, and then it goes
Yeah,
off.
it goes off. I don't even finish
Back in the old
scenes.
days when I had to use those fucking VCR tapes,
Yeah.
I started from the beginning. I could jerk off for a year without seeing the end.
See,
you know what I mean?
The problem I've had is there are times where it's on for 8 hours just because I've nutted and then fallen asleep.
That's
and then the porn
hilarious.
is still on the phone.
That's funny.
You wake up and oh crap, I got to get rid of this.
Search history. Search history.
All right.
So,
what was
and then
that
the last one was so just to test the Chinese dildo market, and so the number of it was the dollar amount of dildos sold in China.
Ooh, wow.
American dollar?
It's in American dollars in the billions.
Oh, yeah.
Billions.
Well, all the dildos are made there.
I know, but I wouldn't went there. But okay, I'm going to go 2.3 billion.
I'm going to go 3.1 billion.
It was 15 billion.
Wow.
I know, isn't that shocking?
So we split the difference on the last two questions
Yeah.
if it would have came down to that.
Repressed society, not so much.
You know what? It's so funny because you've seen it on YouTube. You've seen videos of these giant dildo factories in China, and all these, 100 women lined up just lubing up this one, painting the head. They got paint. You know what I mean?
And they are at work too.
Oh, yeah.
They are in.
That's arts and crafts.
If they don't do the production, they're out.
Right.
I mean, you got a woman sitting there with a fucking red paintbrush making the head pink, and then she passes it on. Someone does the balls. It's pretty fucking intricate.
I'm glad that I decided to stay sober and beat you.
Are you?
Yeah.
14 to 6.
Well,
Well, I guess I take that back. 14 to.
everyone knows that I am superior intellectually to Chris. I mean, this is
13
like a
to
thing
6.
that everyone knows already. So, I mean,
Yeah, superior intellectually. Yeah, a lot of these questions would make Jeopardy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I was surprised at
just know that it's
some of those numbers you gave me. I still can't fathom. The fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fucking points.
And he's about to get passed by LeBron. He's about a year
close.
away.
I didn't even try to do math on that, and I guess I should have, but I wouldn't. It'd be such a long math problem. I would have to
Well, it's funny
do the
'cause
amount of points I think he averaged per game.
I don't think most
the
people
85
know what
games
he,
a year or
like
whatever.
what he did a year.
No,
How many you get in a year.
no, that's what I mean. I'd have to
Right.
break down the year and then go from the year to the amount of years he played in order for me to even have some kind of educated guess.
Right.
So I just took a stab in the dark. I didn't feel like fucking with it.
Yeah. I just found it amazing that everyone knows baseball stats through their head. And
Here's my Reds thing.
That's hilarious that you,
Well,
me
no,
and you had
because-
the exact same formula. You just did the math wrong. That's so
I
funny to
had
me.
the numbers wrong. I had them written down wrong. But it is amazing that we would both come up with the exact same fucking number of games.
Yeah, that's kinda
and the
crazy.
number of years.
oh, it's funny too because their winning percentage was like 505. So if you really 80 was probably a good benchmark.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
You
way
know?
I looked at it. 160 games. Now I know they played less before, but I'm like, well, 160 for the modern world. You know what I
Right.
mean? Big Red Machine won a lot more, so it'll
Right.
all balance out in the end.
Well, I'm the victor. We don't have a song.
I have a
name your price.
yeah. We're gonna do this one quick, and then I got to scoot because I got to pick up my kid, and I got to work. You got to work tonight.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been rushed, but Chris didn't wake up.
That was my fault. You know what? 3 hours of sleep's not enough for me.
It's not enough for anyone. I don't know how you do it. I
Yeah.
really don't.
I do it every
You're
day.
asking
I
a
know
lot.
you do. You do the DoorDash thing during the day. I wait until I wake up. I still get my 7-8 hours and then DoorDash and then go to work. But
I make it all up on the weekends when he sleeps with me. I can sleep
that
on the
sounded
weekends.
weird. But go on.
Okay, here we go. Name your price. Basically, this is something you're going to get paid to do. But I want a real number. If I would say, hey, suck a dick, you can't say 20 million. You know what I mean? A real legitimate number that you can live with.
He can if that's his number, by the way.
Yeah, I say, yeah.
Some people's numbers are a little bit bigger than yours.
Okay, here's the deal. And this one I specifically put at married people. I'm out of this. This doesn't count with me. Okay? I'm trying to word it the right way. It's got something to do with your wife's wedding ring, and I'm trying to word it the right way. Hold on a second.
Man, you really have this one
that
together.
thought.
I had it together. I got the whole thing, but I had it more as a would you rather, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can switch back to the would you rather format for one show.
No, it's not like this one.
And I don't think I'm ready to have the wedding ring conversation on there yet.
Yeah, the internet.
Oh no, this is something different. Okay, here's the deal.
I'm just
saying.
I'm gonna skip the wedding ring one because I can't find a way to put it into that format. It was basically your wife lost her wedding ring, and here's where it was. You know what I mean? You got to get it back. So here's what we're gonna do. Name your price. You're walking down the street. Okay, there's a fucking dark alley because I had this one in the back. Say it's around 12th, right near the bars. Okay, there's two guys back there butt fucking in the end of this alley, and you walk by and you see it, and you look over and. You know, you see it, but even though you're not gay, you're going to stop and look for a second. You know what I mean? Are they really butt fucking? You're going to get it in your head. These two guys are butt fucking in this alley. Okay, and the one guy says, hey, come over here. You say, I'm not coming over there. He goes, look, all we want to do is have you sit there and watch, and then we're both going to finish on your face. Okay, because we don't like the cum to go to waste. We're both gonna drop a facial right on you, both on one side. You're going to get peppered on both sides. But we've got cash. Name your price.
So the price to get cummed on by two dudes?
By two dudes that are butt fucking in an alley. Now, you don't have to suck their dicks or help them come.
Yeah.
You just have to stand there, look straight up, and take two blasts.
And you know, dudes that butt fuck in an alley are different kinds of dudes. We're not just talking about a couple gay guys hanging out and
right. And there's
sex,
a chance that when the guy blows, a little smattering of poop might come with it. I mean, it's possible. I mean, it just came out of a guy's ass. It just came out of a guy's ass. Little poop might. All right, you're getting cummed on by two guys.
I can see.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
The poop's the least of my worries at that point.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if you're gonna throw bodily fluid on me, what's a little poop at that point? Honestly.
Well, and I think I'd rather have someone poop on me than come on me. I can't decide. That's a tough decision. That's a tough would you rather. That's
either get your skin burned off or your bones broken. You know what I mean?
Your bones broken.
Two facials.
All right, I actually have an exact number for this.
Okay.
An exact.
16,835.
Whoa.
Does that pay your house off?
It pays the car off.
It pays the car off. So for the car getting paid off, Scott will get cummed on by two dudes.
To no longer have that monthly payment, I'll take a little blow in the face.
Two blows.
Yeah, but if you're going to take one blow, what's two blows? Honestly.
It's true. It is true. Now, there's a line. There is a line. 1, 2, whatever.
Bukkake
but
party.
32,
right.
At that point.
Yeah, actually, that would have been the better name your price. Are you going to go 1 or 2, or where does the line draw? Is 12 getting to be the point where it's a little too much?
Where's this price go up? Yeah.
See, for me, it's 1. It's 1.
Well, one's
I'm scared to come.
disgusting, sure, but I'm saying like the 2 or 12 is a legit conversation.
My
I think you
number's lower
underestimate
than
the power of my facial cleanser.
Well,
it'll do a
see,
great
the thing
job
about
of
it
getting
is,
that off.
And I'm not like fucking greedy guy, but I can get over stuff. What's your number?
Fuck.
$16,832.
Well, mine's going to be a little bit lower than that, probably.
As is mine.
I don't have an exact number because I don't know if I owe anything, but 10,000.
All right, 10,000.
Yeah.
All right, well,
10,000 blow load in my face. Two dudes fucking in an alley.
I'm even a little bit more thrifty than you guys. Give me 5 G's. I'll take 2 loads for 5 G's. And the reason is because that's a really nice vacation for me and the kids, and I can handle it. I can get by the getting blasted on. Now, if they said, no, you have to hold each dick and do this way and put some work in,
no.
then the price is going up.
Everything.
Yeah. Right, because then you're gay.
Yeah.
You're jerking a guy off. You're making him come.
Well, for a price, you're not gay, but I get what you're saying.
I would take 2 loads for 5 G's. I mean, I guess $5,000. I'm going on vacation, taking the kids to Disney or something like that.
Well, I know a guy.
You know, two guys. No two guys with 2,500 each, and I'm
if
down.
you know one guy, you can find another.
Hey, if they got 2,500 each, I'm down.
I know some people that throw that money around like nothing.
Obviously, yours makes a little more logical sense though, because they probably have 2,500 each on hand.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's not a bad price. Not to come on you.
The idea that someone's going to come up with $8,100 a piece, not so much.
No, not much.
Now maybe at the casino, if they're there, then
they got
$8,100 on hand. Yeah.
You got a fuck you or anything?
I do, but I really don't have one. But I do want to expand on. I have one expanding on yours from last week.
Okay, I don't even remember mine from last week, but we'll go into it and in the show.
Maybe Scott has one. Fuck you. Well, quick fuck you. First of all, do you have a fuck you? Is there anybody that pissed you off? Well, let's hear it.
And this one will be interesting. This will be for all Ohio Republicans who decided that J.D. Vance was the good idea in Ohio. What the fuck were you thinking?
J.D. Vance is weird.
Oh, my God.
He's a nut.
They're going to lose this thing.
They should lose it.
They should lose it.
Because Tim Ryan's a pretty moderate Democrat anyway.
Right.
So it's not like you're picking some far lefty.
Just a couple weeks ago, the Donald done threw all his support at J.D. Vance. And a lot of these crazy fuckers that are Trumpers, they're going to go with it just because Donald did.
I know a lot of people who work in campaigns, and we have had discussions over this over the last couple of weeks, and they were like, man, he is doing everything to lose this.
Yeah, and he kind of just disappeared, I heard. You don't really hear much from the guy. Well, when you do, it's nothing good.
Well, it's funny, too, because he just ducked out of he was going to not debate Tim Ryan at all. Now, they had since agreed to 2 debates.
Yeah.
But that's a PR nightmare for a week. You're telling people that you're not going to debate in a Senate election?
I know.
And now a contested Senate election. It's one thing for the governor because, everyone will say, well, the governor should have done it. But the governor's going to win by 25 points. I can see why you don't debate anybody.
I mean, J.D. Vance is the one that literally brought his name into the forefront with that commercial, I hate Mexicans, or whatever it was. Remember, it was Mexicans. That's
is he the guy that did that?
Yeah.
And I will say this, Tim Ryan's campaign has been fantastic. He's done a great job of kind of making himself a moderate Republican, moderate Democrat, by throwing those footballs at the TVs about culture wars. That's a stroke of genius. That's really good work.
Yeah.
I just think the Donald supporting J.D. Vance is going to get a lot of these crazy fuckers giving him the vote.
I think the Donald doesn't have enough hold in Ohio to do that. He has enough hold to win you a primary. I don't know if he has enough hold to win you an election against a moderate guy. I think if you had a far lefty running, then maybe that would mean a little bit more. But you got a pretty moderate dude going against a guy that obviously has no fucking clue what's going on.
No, he has no clue at all. But there's so many crazy conservatives in the state of Ohio.
But the problem is there were 4 other candidates. I mean, the one lady was the Democrat or the Republican chair of Ohio. She practically built this machine that made Trump so enormously popular and
then lost
and lost. So
to this ride. You know what pisses me off about J.D. Vance the most is I bought his book a long time ago. And now I feel like I supported them. And I've never even read the fucking book. It just sounded interesting. A hillbilly something or another.
Hillbilly elegy.
Yeah, it was about pillheads. I have a big affinity for reading about pillheads, so I bought it and then I never read it. But I still gave that fucker some of my money at some point or another.
It just amazes me that there's so many fucking people. And Ohio's real bad for this. Ohio's a fucking crazy conservative religious place where they would vote for Adolf Hitler if he was pro-life. They just would.
Yeah, most people, it doesn't matter. You just vote for a letter.
But to me, all the more reason that when Tim Ryan wins this thing, and I think he will, that's going to be pretty shocking in the state. So
yeah, I mean, it should be a wake-up call.
Yeah.
You just get us
when J.D. Vance did his first commercial, we ragged on him on the podcast because it was something about I hate illegal Mexicans or something like that. Right. We're like, can you believe the balls on this fucking guy?
Yeah, I mean,
and he's only gotten worse and worse as the time.
Well, the problem too is every time that he says something that goes along the lines of Trump, they've got, oh my God, thousands of tons of minutes of data or information where he was a big anti-Trumper.
Yeah, he shit all over him for a long time.
Yeah, he was shit all over him for a long time.
And I think Trump shit on him for a little bit too, and then all that changed. But whatever.
Trump is the ultimate grudge holder. I can't believe that he's throwing his fucking
support
at you now.
It never made any sense.
And when he threw his support for him, I'm like, wait a second, you guys hated each other's fucking guts.
It worked out for him politically. That's all that matters. He's pretty good at strategy. I got to give him that. What's your fuck you?
My fuck you. I was watching, was it CNN? And CNN to me is like a joke anymore. If I watch Don Lemon, I'm going to kill somebody. But There was an actual fucking reporter on CNN that was trying to find some justifiable way to defend Brett Favre.
Really?
And he really was. And he was saying, well, I think...
He's just a big Packers fan?
No, he might have been. Who knows? But
Yeah.
he's actually trying to... There's a lot of things you can't make sense of. I mean, you can find a different side to every story, but you can't defend Adolf Hitler. You can't defend Mussolini. And in this case, you cannot defend Brett Favre. He took millions of fucking welfare dollars out of people's pockets.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was like, well, maybe he was misled down this, or maybe he was promised this. And I'm saying, I don't remember his name, but it's a fuck you CNN anchor who was sitting there on TV actually trying to defend Brett Favre. And I was like, you're going to get fired. I mean, you can't.
Well, you can say whatever you want. All you need to do is get people to watch your videos. A lot of times you do that by saying some stupid shit. So
Yeah,
it's not
but
going
you
to get
can't
fired.
say stupid shit that's going to make the whole country hate your fucking guts.
Well, not.
I've heard it say it's
not
probably
Green
only
Bay
half
fans.
the country that hates your guts, not
Yeah.
the whole country.
Not Green Bay fans, and he has a lot of support still in Mississippi, even though he fucked them over.
That's where
they
all,
still
all
love
the
him.
money came from.
Well, I know that's where he's from, but if they
Yeah.
still love him down there, he's like a little folk hero
It's
down there.
amazing because the facts are fucking. You can't argue the facts. He knew it was welfare money. He fucking took it.
Favre's a piece of shit.
A piece of shit.
Favre's a piece of shit.
I don't blame him. I don't fault him for the dick pic. Hey, I've been
Whatever.
there with you.
That's
I'm
a
not
thing.
stealing welfare dollars.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But yeah, the stealing welfare dollars, and whether he knew it was welfare or not, he knew that he shouldn't have got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knew that there was some shit going on. So fuck,
He knew where the money was coming from.
Yeah.
He knew it was fucking welfare money.
Fuck CNN.
But
Fuck their
he
anchors.
knew it was welfare money that wasn't ever supposed to come out as welfare money.
He's a piece of shit.
Motherfucker, you're a scumbag.
All right, my fuck you this week goes out to someone very important in my life, myself. I shouldn't have got fucking so high the other night and bought these stupid Adidas clogs.
Oh, wow.
How fucking...
That is something.
They were on sale for $15, and I was like, you know
You're wearing
what?
Adidas
Is that
Crocs.
is that an
Crocs.
Amazon purchase? Is that
No,
on-
it was
on-
actually on the Adidas website. I check this website all the time called Slick Deals, and it gives you, good sales going on. I seen these for $15. I'm like, those are fucking stupid looking. I gotta have them. And because it was only $15, who gives a shit? They show up my door Sunday. I forgot that I even fucking ordered them.
They're really stupid.
I put them on, and like, not only do they fucking look dumb, they're not really that comfortable. And that was the reason I got them. Everybody's like, Crocs are so comfortable, blah, blah, blah. Now, take for granted, these aren't Crocs. Crocs is a brand name.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're Adidas. But they're not very comfortable.
They're closed toe with holes in
They
them.
look
They
fucking
like Crocs.
stupid.
They probably fall off your feet half the time.
No,
don't
they fit well.
Okay.
They're
'Cause
snug
that's what
to
they
the
look
feet.
like. They look like they just slide right off
No,
the back.
no. They actually fit too well. I think that's why they're uncomfortable. It just don't make sense. Fuck you, Jason, for ever thinking that was a good idea.
Well, I'll give you a story. I actually had to buy I bought white Crocs once. I mean, bright white Crocs. Because as a swim referee, you want to wear white shoes, but you want to wear something where the water gets on them so it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Goddamn, white Crocs look like a pair of boats on my feet. I mean, I have a 13, and it was just wrong.
I think in general, if you
wore
got
them
big
once.
feet, you shouldn't wear Crocs.
Right.
I think
No,
that's small.
I wore them once and once only.
Everybody always told me how comfortable they were.
I've never
And
owned
in
a
the
pair.
end, I don't give a fuck what I look like. So that was never an important thing to me. I was like, well, if they're comfortable, they make sense taking the kid to the bus and shit like that, wearing around the house. Not that comfortable. But then again, I got the Adidas ones. Now I look like a fucking asshole because I make bad decisions late at night.
They kind
I
of look
guess.
like slipper versions of Sambas, though. That's the best part of it.
I don't mind the way they look.
I got to get out of here.
Far
So
away.
I'm going to thank Scott for being here. Thanks. Those were good questions. They truly were. A lot of them, I mean, I think most of them, I just threw a blind guess up, but I think he did too.
I did too.
Yeah.
We both did.
I wanted
kind
you
of
to
the
be
same thing.
surprised by them. I
I
said
was
that none of
surprised
these,
by most of them.
none of these I wanted to be something that you were going to nail on the head. You
And I'm
know?
surprised how many Jason and I were really, really close on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, some of those numbers make me kind of scared for the fucking world that we live in. The people are creepier than the fucking that I thought they were.
It makes Idiocracy look smarter and smarter every day.
It does.
All right, guys, that's it. It was nice to prove that I'm smarter than Chris again. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can kindly fuck off now. Please subscribe and share. Well, you can kindly fuck off now. Subscribe and share.